Wellness Wednesday. Wonderful Wellness Wednesday. So I will show some variations on that ankle stretch as we move along. Let's sit tall and remember our breath and feel your feet, sense your feet on the earth. Lifting tall. Feel the bottom of your spine and maybe take your hand into the top of your head. Not to push down on it, but to rather push your head up into your hand. That's it. So you grow really tall. And feel your tailbone at the bottom of your spine. And then release your arm down. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your nose. Feel the breath just as it is. A few times. And then gradually we'll begin to increase the length of the breath. In and out through the nose. Because that helps to relax our nervous system. It turns on our parasympathetic nervous system. Ideally, we would like an inhale of about 5 counts and an exhale of about 5 counts, which would take us to 10 counts of breath and 6 breaths a minute. I'm sure you could figure out that math with me. So let's try it. If you don't get to 5, don't worry, just work towards it over time. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And your count's going to be different than my count. You might speed it up a little bit, or it might be a little bit slower. And over time, you'll find that balance within your breath. Now I want you to focus on bringing the breath, breathe it in towards the heart. So take both of your hands to your heart and breathe in towards your heart, but your belly's going to expand first. Actually, maybe you want to take one hand to your belly so you can remember, breathe in, belly expands first. And then feel like you're breathing up towards your heart. And then as you exhale, breathe out from your heart. This is called heart-focused breathing. Breathing in towards the heart for about a count of 5. And breathing out from the heart for about a count of 5. Breathe in. And breathe out. We'll talk more about heart-focused breathing as we move along today. Let your arms down by your side. Let's take them outward and wide. Yes. Then turn the palms upward and then downward. Back up. Give yourself a hug. Right arm over left. Happy Wellness Wednesday to you. Happy Wellness Wednesday to me. Feel your finger pads press in towards the back of your shoulders. You might feel a little tenderness there. Let's just notice it. Then open up the arms wide. Turn the palms up, thumbs back behind you. Then turn the palms down as we move forward with our arms. Palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down. Good. Open it back out wide. Breathe in and breathe out. Awesome. Take your fingertips to the top of your shoulders and start to circle your wings. Ooh, that feels really nice on the shoulders. Circle your wings like you're making a nice big circle with your elbows. This feels really nice. And then circle it the other way. As you breathe in and out, take your arms wide. Let's clap our hands. That's it. Open them up, take them back behind you. You're making a V back behind you. Open it up. Close it. Don't listen to me, just do what I say. All right, open it up, make a V. Close it, palms clap. Open it up. It's kind of funny to get that clap. Take it back and clap it. Good. One more time. Beautiful. And release your arms down. Let's circle the right arm towards the left. Bend the elbow. Open up. Gaze at your palm, your right palm back behind you. Notice your neck. If it's too much turning, don't turn it quite so much. Let's take the palm forward and towards the left and place it outside of the left thigh. So right hand outside left thigh, left hand behind you. Gaze at your fingertips. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring both hands to your knees or your thighs. Round your spine for cat pose. Lean back. Chins towards chest. Feeling a nice stretch towards the shoulder blades, maybe in towards the traps, the tops of the shoulders. And then inhale and lift up towards our cow. Heart is rising. Take a breath towards your heart. And then come back to neutral, circling the left arm around and towards the right. And then open it back up, back behind you, gazing at your palm. Feel that shoulder blade on your back. And then circling the arms to the outside of your right thigh, finding your twist, other way. Gazing at your right palm. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Palms back to the knees. Round your spine. Find our cat pose. Inhale, open up, arms in a V for victory. You guys are victorious. Spread your fingers. Exhale, round your spine. Hands back to your knees, chin to chest. Open it up, big V. Spread fingers, feel shoulder blades on the back. Curl your fingers in towards your palm and stretch your thumbs out to the side towards center. Wonderful. Then we're going to interlace our thumbs. And if your hands don't reach up quite, you can be right here. Let's start here. We're pulling our thumbs apart. Doesn't matter which one is on top, but remember which one it is. Let's move towards the right. Inhale the center and move towards the left. And start to gradually lift your arms higher. You can bend your elbows, pulling on your thumbs. And let's take a side bend. You can always release the thumbs, by the way. You could just have one arm up. Let's take a side bend towards the right. Or you can have the thumbs interlaced. No right or wrong here. We're trying to get a nice side bend. Breathe in and breathe out. Ooh, nice stretch on the left side of the body. Lift on up. Keep the fingers interlaced. Maybe switch which thumb is on top. Little brain teaser. And then side bend towards your left. Maybe you drop that left arm down. The point is to get a nice stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in And breath is out. Lower the arm down. Let's start to warm up our feet. Beginning by push down through them, push down through the toe pads and the heels. And inhale and lift your right heel, And then we're going to exhale and lower it down. Really notice whether the big toe mound is pushing down. Let's do the left side. Lift the heel. Sometimes it looks like this, where it's kind of moving out to the side. Really push it down as though your finger was under there and you were going to smush it. I saw something on Instagram this morning where they were putting a rolled towel underneath their toes to make sure they really push down on it. And they have to try that. Maybe you will. I'll have to remember to bring a towel down to show you guys what that would look like. Lower the heels down. Inhale, heels lift up. Lift them up. Lift the ankles high. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's interlace our fingers and push the palms away. And circle. See, I'm trying to keep your mind off the feet. Let's lower the heels down and keep going with your arms. There's no right or wrong. We're just warming up a little bit here. Breathing in and breathing out. Yeah. And release your hands. Tip your right ear down towards your right shoulder. And then use your neck muscles to lift the head back up. That's what we're practicing, is using our neck muscles instead of our head. This is an exaggeration, but we tend to whip our head around and not use our neck muscles. I know we don't whip our head, but to get the idea, we're using our neck to move our head, not our head to move our neck. Dip now with your neck muscles, your left ear down towards your left shoulder. I'm noticing a little bit more of a stretch on this side. Notice whatever you feel. Breathe in, breathe out, and then use your neck muscles to lift the head back up. And that's right, you could use your hand to help it out. Let's do that. We'll do it together. Dip the head down with your neck muscles and maybe use your fingers on top of your head just to get a little bit more of a stretch. And then you can use your fingers to help you lift back up. So there's no strain. Other side, ear towards your shoulder. Maybe use your fingertips. It's just really a guide. You're not pulling your head. You're not pulling your head. I will repeat that. And then inhale, lift the head back up. Now, let's inhale and lift the right knee towards us. Right knee towards us. Give it a big hug in. Circle the knee around and about. And then place the ankle on your thigh. If it doesn't quite get up there, then put your foot up on a stack of blocks or pillows or whatever you've got around, or maybe even a chair next to you. And then let's point and flex the foot. Ooh, I'm hearing a little crackling. Point and flex it. And you can use your hand to help out. It's okay to use your hand to help. Now, sometimes when this area is stiff, it's good to give it a little bit of a massage back here, and we will stretch this area as well. Massage is awesome to help loosen that up. Then, with your left hand on your right foot, and if you're here, that's okay. We're going to lean forward until we feel a stretch in the right hip. Keep your head in line with your spine, so no rounding the head down. Try to keep the bottom of your spine in line so it's making a dyad with the top of your head. So however far you lean forward, your head is following your heart. This is what it looks like if the foot is on top like this. Notice it and feel it. And breathe in for about a count of 5. And then breathe out for a count of 5. Let's lift on up. Place the foot down. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower them down. Now, inhale and lift your toes. Spread them. No peeking. You guys know the drill. No peeking, looking at your toes and growling at them. Just lift them up and exhale and lower them down. Let's pick up the left knee. Hug the leg in towards you. Give it a big hug. I love you, left leg. And circle the thigh around and about in the socket. You can use both hands. You can use a strap underneath your thigh if it's feeling really like a heavy leg, because it is. You can circle it around and about like that instead. Put this to the side here. Then make your number 4 or gentleman's pose with the left foot either on the blocks or books, or place the ankle above the thigh and adjust yourself so that you feel about even. And give yourself a massage here. Point and flex your foot. And you can use your hands to find some movement. You might give yourself a little massage or kind of tap the bottom of the foot. Give it a little sensation, little texture to the bottom of the foot, little tactile touch. Pointing and flexing. And let's lean forward. We're all going to lean forward to a different extent. You can use your left hand on your left thigh to gently press down, but please don't push down on the knee. We love our knee. We love our knee. Okay, here we go. Forward, head in line with spine. Stop when you feel sensation. And then breathe right there for a count of about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We inhale and exhale to a count of 5. And then we'll press on up. So sometimes I gently press down on the thigh to lift back up. And place your foot back down. Now, it can be helpful to do a little walking in place to help the movement in the feet and the ankle too. Try not to slap that foot down. So lifting one and lowering, and then the other. Really good to feel the sensation on the bottom of the foot. Notice which is landing first, the toes or the heels, or it's about even. It's not a right or wrong, but switch it up. If your heels are landing first, maybe play with the toes landing first, kind of more of a rolling through the foot. And if your heel is landing first, if your toes are landing first, then switch it up to your heels landing first. And breathe as you move. Let's do a little walking in place, swinging the arms, swing them wildly, let them go. Try not to hold on to anything too much here. Swing. You might even let your arms go a little bit side towards side, forward and back. There you go. Breathe in, breathe out. You got this. Even it up and stop. Now I'm going to show you something. You can use a block or you can use a wall. Really good to warm up the feet. And you can also use your hands if you can bend down that far, or you could put your foot on a block. So here's a few different ways to do this. One is pretend this block is the wall. You you draw your toes down the wall and then push your toes into the wall. So what's happening is you're getting a flexion here. Now you'll see that I'm not quite getting full flexion because I had surgery there. But the idea is you're pushing against it. Now you could also use your hand and pull the toes back like this. Or you could face a wall, excuse the view, and draw your toes down the wall. And you'll make an arch in your foot as you do that. It is similar to us lifting our toes up and down, but I'm feeling a little bit more movement after doing that now. So I really encourage you to try that. If you're standing and you're facing the wall, try not to lock your knee. So here's what the other side would look like. Block is down, that's my wall. Drag the toes down the wall. We could even do it like this. Drag the toes down the wall. This foot has a little bit more movement. So it's not good or bad, it just is. So you could drag it down the wall. You can use your hands and kind of pull up on the toes or drag your foot down the wall. So 3 different options for that I can think of at the moment. And you could, if you can't reach that far down, bring the floor up to you and put your foot on the block like this and then pull your toes up. So we're really trying to get some flexion in that area. Super important to have that roll. And super important to pull your big toes, push your big toe mound down as you pull the toes towards you. Let's do some lengthening of the legs. Heels are down. You're gonna, as you pull your toes towards you, you will feel a stretch behind your calf. And by the way, that will impact, if it's real tight back here, that will impact the ankles. Let's point now. Now we're getting a stretch on the front of the shin and towards the foot. So over the ankles and pull them back and point them. You could use a strap and place it around the bottom of your foot like this, but feet, I should say, right? Feet. And then, so I'm pulling the strap towards me and pulling my feet towards me at the same time as we push the heel down. Now shoulders are up and back. Then we could point, a little harder to point with the strap there, and then pull the strap in again and lift tall, belly's pulling in as we lift tall. There's the ribs moving back. That helps the belly to pull in too. So breathe in and breathe out. Press towards the strap. I'm going to release that, let it go for now, and circle the feet around and about. And then the other way. We're just getting these ankles moving as you breathe. Ooh, lots of snappers and crackles and pops this morning. Okay, now we're going to move towards a variation of warrior 1 or crescent pose. It's good to have a block or some pillows nearby. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn towards the right. So turn to your right and hold on to the back of the chair. And then we're going to take the outside leg, which is our left leg, and it might, the knee or the shin might rest on a block. It doesn't have to. Let me show you what it looks like if it doesn't. It looks something like this. And then there's some variations we can do. So this is with the top of the foot down. You can curl the toes under and then the heel rises. So it looks like this. If this feels okay to you, stay here, or you're going to lengthen the left leg back. But first, posture. Pull the torso up and pull the ribs back. Belly's going to tone. Then maybe you lengthen the leg back. You can keep your heel, you can't see with that block there. Keep your heel either lifted like this, which is going to stretch the bottom of the foot, or put the top of the foot down. It's going to stretch the top of the foot. However, we've talked about this. You might want a blanket or a pillow under your foot, or even a block, so that it doesn't cramp. So there's all these things to think about as we get into this pose, but once we're there, it's wonderful. So here we are, ribs back. Play with toes curled under, heel up, or top of the foot down. We might lift an arm up towards the sky. Feel your sitting bone. You may only have one sitting bone on the chair now. Push down through the right thigh. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe play with some variations of curling toes under and then switching it up. Lift up once again. Ribs back, arm lifting. Maybe you take your arm out to the side and back behind you as you hold on to the back of the chair. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back forward, hold on, and step the foot forward. Notice how your body feels. Sometimes people get a little back pain. If that's the case, you definitely want to come out of it. Don't push through it. You could potentially do something like this instead, where you're dropping the foot off the side of the chair, and you could have a blanket right here. Same thing. We might have a blanket and we might have a block. So this is another way to do this if this is more comfortable for you. And yet there's one other way. It's to hold on to the seat of the chair and move forward, and then tap your toes back. There's that little bar there, so you don't want to push into that. And this may be enough of a stretch, just kind of depends on your body. Let's go the other way. So we situate the blanket, we situate the block. We may or may not need it on this side. Now we're turning towards the left, holding onto the back of the chair. Pull our ribs back, and now our outside leg, our right leg, we take it back and rest the knee, potentially on a block. That's up to you, or a blanket or a pillow, and feel what it's like. Now, if this torso goes forward like this, likely you won't feel much. You want to pull the torso back, the ribs back, holding on to the back of the chair. You might curl your toes under, get a little stretch for the foot, or top down, play with both alternatives, lifting the arm, breathe here. Now lift up and out of your waist as you push down through the left thigh, maybe extending the leg back. This can be a really nice front of the thigh stretch, a quad stretch, as long as your lower spine says, I'm good with it. Breathe in and breathe out, and open up your arm to the side at a diag. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's bring the arm back up and lower it down and step the foot forward. Okay, now let's move on to standing. So place your chair where it's good for you. For balance, we're going to play with the same warrior one with the lunge, which we've done before, but it will help stretch the back of the leg. Do that to the side. Okay, so we're holding on to the back of the chair. We're in mountain pose. We are in mountain pose. We're going to keep the right foot forward and take the left leg back. The front knee is going to bend. You get a choice. You can have the heel down if that feels better to you for balance, or keep the heel up here. We're going to kind of rock a little bit down and then lift up through the front leg. So bending and straightening, keeping the back leg straight, and you will notice a stretch through the back calf. Breathe in and breathe out. Nice stretch, bending and straightening. Breathing in and breathing out. Take the ribs back, make sure they're back. Count in for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you might be feeling this in the hip and in the thigh. And then exhale out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice I've got a little bounce going here. Then when we're ready, take your weight to the front foot and step the back leg up. Woo! That's a lot of weight bearing on the hip, but it's good for the hip. If it's too much, you feel like, oh, she's keeping this pose too long, come out of it. You don't need to stay in it if it's too much for you. You can always go back in when you're ready. Left foot is forward, right leg is back. We're going to bend and straighten the front knee. You get to decide on this heel. I'm going to go like this for the first few. So the heel is up, bending and straightening. Imagine that even as you're going down and the knee is bending, that your spine is staying tall. And we straighten the front leg and we bend it. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Feel a nice stretch through the front of the thigh. Let's hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That thigh is working. Isn't that front thigh working? If you touch it, you'll feel the muscle. It's activating. It's getting stronger. Take your weight to the front foot and step your back foot up. Yes. Maybe circle your hips around. Get any kinks out of there. And let's play with lifting up onto our toes. We might use a block. A few blocks, actually. I'm just going to, well, we can use one block, but move it around. So we're going to stand in mountain pose. We're going to place the block in the inner thigh first. Hug your block. You can see it looks like a Pez. Those Pez candies. So lift tall up and out of the waist. Feel your weight about centered in your feet. Keep imagining that you're growing tall. Your head is lifting up towards the sky. And lift the ankles and the heels up. Notice if your heels are rolling out, really push down through that big toe mound. And we're going to exhale and lower on down. Inhale, we rise up. And exhale, we lower down. Inhale, we rise up. Maybe you take one arm up. Always maybes. Tone your hips. Feel your strong legs and your strong ankles. Maybe you switch it up and lift the other arm. Reach it high to the sky. Relax your shoulders down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower the arm and lower the heels down. Remove the block. Put it to the side. And let's walk back to wall dog. Take some steps back. Feet are parallel. Knees are bending. Hands are on the chair. Sitting bones rise. Lift your ribs. Straighten your legs only if you can keep that lower back curve. So you don't want to feel like this is rounding over. Let's do that again. Bend the knees, angle the sitting bones up. That gives us that lower back curve. Lift the ribs towards the sky and straighten the legs only to the point where you can keep a nice lower back curve rather than the rounding. And then let's walk in towards the chair. Now we're going to play and put the block in between your ankles. So it looks like this. And hug your ankles into the block. You can experiment. If you feel like it's better to keep them wide like this, that's okay, but hug your ankles in to the block. So the block can go either way, long, turn it one way or the other, whichever feels better to you. This way, my ankles are pushing in, but I don't feel so much around the big toe. And then we're going to play with lifting as we hug our ankles into the block. And then exhale and lower down. Now you've got the chair in front of you when you're doing this. So we're hugging it, we're lifting up. This helps us so our ankles don't roll out. Hugging the block, exhale, slowly lower down. That's it. If you don't have a block, it's okay. Just pretend you have a block there. Inhale, lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how this feels. Exhaling, lowering. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was fun. But see how you might feel how the muscles are toning differently with the block there. Now, sometimes we put a block both places, here and down there. That's super fun too. You might take the block to your shins like this and hug in there. That's really nice. You can do it either way. This might be a little bit better. Keeping the feet parallel, hug it in, breathe in as you lift. Oh yes, different muscles are working. And exhale, slowly lower down. You might find that kind of hard because you're not used to that. So that's a good thing. We're trying to keep our knees over our middle toes. If you're feeling any torquing, take the block away. We can talk about it later. One more time. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe an arm lifts. Maybe another arm lifts. Maybe you switch arms. This is not easy, by the way. Exhale, slowly lower down. Did I say that wasn't easy? Because it's not. Remove that block. Let's walk back to wall dog. Walk it on back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. And walk your feet back towards the chair. Let's take our feet wide. We've had them close together for a while now. So step your feet wide. You can have the chair in front of you or to the side of you. Toes are forward. Push down through big toe mounds all the way across the feet. All the way across. Let's bend the right knee and the left leg is straight. And then push down through the foot on the right side. It straightens, and now the left knee bends. Yes. And come back to center. Push down through both feet evenly. Take your ribs back. One or both hands to your hip. One or both hands to your hip. Maybe one's on a chair. Lift tall. Push down through the tops of your pelvis, your pelvic bowl there. And then take your hips back. Shoulders on your back, elbows towards each other. Base of the spine reaching back, crown of the head reaching forward. We got good traction here. Breathe in and breathe out. You can always soften your knees. You can always soften your knees. Never feel strain on your back. Let's push down through our feet. Strongly push down through the toe pads. Strongly. Notice how that changes the activation in your legs. Press down, rise up. Yes. Let's move our feet back towards each other and give it a little bounce. Bouncing is really good. The studies are showing bouncing is really, really good for your fascia. Fascia is your soft tissue skeleton. All kinds of fluid is in it, hyaluronic acid, I believe. So that is really, really good for us. It lubricates it. But we have to move, we have to massage, we can bounce a bit to lubricate the fascia. So definitely play around. Someone will say, what are you doing? You're like, I am lubricating my fascia. and they will be amazed. Okay, let's take our feet wide. Turn your toes, your right toes to the right. Let's find our triangle. Pressing down through both feet. Push the feet down and feel them pull towards each other. Notice the toning in your hips. Let your hips move towards the left as you take your hand towards the chair. Fingertips are down. Or you might have your hand at your leg. Make sure this knee isn't locking. So if you know it locks and it pulls back like that, soften it up. Press down through the heel in the big toe mound. First focus on the right foot and then the left. Lifting the left arm towards the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe you take your arm over your ear or keep it up. Either way is fine. Or hand at your hip. Draw the shoulder up and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push down through your feet. Rise up. All 10 toes forward. Take a little break. Bring the feet back together. Do a little bouncing action because you know it's good for your fascia. We know it's good for our fascia. Any of you who like to jump rope, that's good. That's good. I feel like I got to brush up on that. If you're comfortable doing that, and go for it, or just pretend you got a jump rope, right? Yeah, I know. You can always hold on to a chair a little bit so you know you got that there for you. Always safety. Or hold on to the kitchen counter and do a little jumping action while you're warming some food up. Okay, take a bite. Or when you're making your smoothie. Because this time of year is such a good time for some really good fruity green smoothies. Turn the toes out on the left side. Hand can be on the chair. Make sure it's not too far. And push down through both feet. Push your toe pads down. Feel your muscles activate on your legs. Soften the back of the knees. So even though we're pushing down on the toe pads, we want to keep the knees soft. Hips are going to veer to the right now. Hand somewhere on that chair for support, or you can have the hand touch the leg. No pushing on knees. We love our knees. Pull your belly in and up. Roll your top shoulder up and back, and then maybe lifting an arm towards the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Going for count 3, 4, 5 on the inhale, count 3, 4, 5 on the exhale. Maybe you take your arm overhead and stretch it. You might pull the elbow back and then stretch it again. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push down through the feet. Rise up. All 10 toes forward. And bring it on in. There you go. Little more jump rope action here. Little more. Yes, I think you guys are into this. You don't have to lift your feet off, by the way. It could just be like a little bit of, be gentle on yourselves, be gentle on your knees, but shake it up a little bit. As long as that feels safe to you, shake it up a little bit because it's so good for your fascia. We love our fascia, don't we? All right, let's find goddess pose. Take the feet wide. Toes are outward, heels are inward. Bend your knees over your ankles and your heels. Sitting bones are back and then down. Back and then down. Knees are over middle toes. If it feels like they're rolling in, really push down through the outside of the foot because sometimes it'll lift up and the inside. Then let's press down and rise up. That's our root to rise. Exhale, push down. Bend knees over ankles and heels. Opening up the knees and lift up. Breathe in and breathe out. You got it. One more. Let's hold it for 5. Our inhale is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And our exhale is 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Toes forward. Bring it on back. That was awesome. Let's stretch the back of our legs. Get your strap. And bring it on over. Have a seat. If you have a second chair, bring that on over too, or an ottoman. I'll turn this way because that's good for you to see. You can also use stacked blocks. Here's my second chair. It just makes the stretching a little bit more. We want to stretch at least 30 seconds. And if you really want to get in there, up to like 4 minutes, believe it or not. I can't do that because then they'll say I'm ending the class too late. But you can do it during the day sometime. So foot on chair, you can put the foot on a few stacked blocks or ottoman. You can have the leg up without it on anything. I would ask you to notice the difference in how you feel the stretch when you're able to rest it on something and when you're not resting it on something. Shoulders up and back. So it could be like this. It's not resting on anything. But if it's resting on something, you might feel more of a stretch. Then we're going to lift up and out of the waist as we breathe in and out. So if we were doing a half a minute, we would have about 3 breaths in and 3 breaths out for the 30, because it would be 10 breaths up. We would do 10 seconds for 3 full breaths. And then you can lean forward, but shoulders and neck and head are in the same line. Resist the temptation to want to touch your toes and pull them in. I have long arms, so it makes it a little easier for me. But we don't want to do this business to get to it. That's going to get more in here and not back there. It's not going to get the stretch where you want it to get to. Hear your breath. Feel your breath. Feel the stretch. And notice, could I stay here? Say to yourself, could I stay here? Or is it really too intense? If it's too intense, lift up a little bit. If you feel like you could get a little bit more of a stretch, then go right ahead, hinge from the hip, and lengthen a little bit more. And then we're going to rise up, release the strap, and lower the leg down. Now, notice how it feels. And we'll do the other side. All of these things are actually going to help the ankle. All of the stretches we've done will help the ankle, the movements. Because movement in general, that fascia is all connected through our body. So wherever we're moving, it's like that butterfly effect. You're affecting everything. You're impacting a whole body. So we lift tall first. We gently pull the tie without raising the shoulders up. Release them down. Feel your shoulders on your back. Start to lean forward. When you lean forward, feel the stretch through the back of the leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel that spine in line. You could imagine the bottom of your spine travel with your mind's eye up the spine towards the neck and the head. Breathing in and breathing out. At least 30 seconds. So that's 3 full breaths, or take it even longer because you can. Breathe in and breathe out. This is like such a good stretch. I would do this every day. I do this almost every day. And then come on up. But I suggest you try doing it every day at some point, even if it's just a minute or two. Move that. And let's do our final twist. So move your knees towards the right. And then take your hands to the back of the chair. You're going to turn your head with your neck muscles. So as we twist, the head turns slowly and stop when it feels just right for you. Breathe in for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to neutral and to center. Travel the other way to the left. Sit tall. Take the ribs back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. First steps in a twist. Take your hands to the back of the chair. Turn your head with your neck muscles. Holding the back of the chair, you can get a little bit of leverage. Feel your belly tone. Breathe in for a count of 5. Breathe out for a count of 5. And then unwind, unravel, and find your way back to neutral. So we're going to do the heart lock-in technique, which is trademarked by Heart Math Institute, which is an amazing organization. You should check it out. Lots of studies have been done with it for all kinds of different reasons, but it can really help our mood and how we feel. And so what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in for that count of 5 and breathe out for that count of 5. And you really can do that for as long as you want, focusing on your breath coming in towards your heart and then exhaling out from your heart. Then at a certain point, I'm going to tell you to think about something joyful that makes you happy. And you can imagine that, the sensation of it as you continue to breathe in and out. Then you're going to keep that sensation and let it radiate through your body. And then you're going to send it out into the universe. So it's breathe, focus on heart, think of something that makes you joyful. It could be petting your pet, petting your pet, playing with your pet, holding your pet. It could be playing with your grandchild. Whatever it is for you, there's a memory, something that makes you happy. So let's breathe in towards the heart for a count of about 5 and breathe out from the heart for a count of about 5. A few times here, breathing in, focusing on the heart, breathing out. It's still a belly breath as you initiate, belly's expanding on the inhale, but the breath is moving towards the heart. Now think about something that makes you joyful or happy and feel that in your body. Maybe you notice an inner smile. And then allow that sensation to swirl through your body. As you breathe in and as you breathe out from the heart. And imagine that energy that you have within inside you and radiate it out to others. And you can practice this several times a day. It only takes a few minutes. You could be doing it while you're talking to somebody and they wouldn't even know, because your eyes can be open or closed for it. Let's bring our palms together in front of our heart as we express gratitude for all these wonderful practices that help us to feel better and help us to radiate positive energy outward to others. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. I'm here for any